A little introduction to the introduction. I got sick a lot while trying to record this video, so it is coming out much later than I wanted to. But I'm still happy that I was able to get out, so enjoy. Hello, everyone. Today, I have a bit of a story. I was on my lunch break at work today, and I came across a video about the new Minecraft updates that are coming out. Roll the clip real quick.
Today, we'll reveal even more features coming to the drop. Is one of them an exciting new game mode that deletes your save file if you mine too many blocks? Nope. For some reason, that didn't test well.
So yeah, I thought to myself that was a pretty interesting concept, a game mode where, you delete your save file when you mine too many blocks. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. We are going to make a mod that does exactly that. Perhaps that might be a little too mean. Maybe instead we just do what the hardcore world does and make it so that you can spectate the world or go back to the title screen. How, you might be asking? I have no idea how to do that. I mean, I program. I have no idea how to make a mod. So today we're going to figure that out together. Conveniently, I have the materials to make a whiteboard. So let's go make a whiteboard and write down the steps that we need to accomplish this. Let's just do here for now. Okay, step one. We need to first figure out how to do this, right? I don't know how to do this. Step two, we need to build it. Step three, we need to test it. Step four, we need to release it. I think this would be a fun thing to play with some friends, quite possibly. So yeah, let's get on to the research. So I did some Googling. It looks like we have two places to start. First one is to generate a bunch of files, which is good because I have no idea how to do this from scratch. Second thing is to read all of this. I don't know how much reading this is going to be. I hope it's not much. Or we don't read and we just figure it out on our own somehow. So yeah, time to start with that. So, small fun fact, looks like I already had a version of JDK installed that I was messing around with, which is the builder or Java whatever that's being used in the background to compile all this. I didn't know that, so it took me a really long time to figure out why nothing was building properly. But now we're here at ground one, the template, after some time. So, okay, looks like the first step is to change a whole bunch of settings in here. I think it's already set correctly. Yeah. And then it looks like there's a couple other files we have to go modify too. At this point, it was fairly obvious that we had some work to do, both in understanding what I just got into and the code at hand that needed to be made. So, throughout this time, I read a lot of documentation, didn't understand it, but came to a conclusion that might make a little sense. Okay, it looks like there is a lot here, so I think it's time to take a trip to Google to figure out the remaining pieces we need. What it looks like we need here is some sort of callback to an event when a player mines a block to add to some counter, or rather check a game statistic. Once we do that, we can then check and see if it's greater than a random number we generate. I think that's all we need, right? It's now time to figure that out. I was messing around with this once before. I didn't realize that you could just hit run and then you have this like weird version of Minecraft that you can kind of just come in and use. I do need to update the volume though because it sounds like it. Yeah, okay. This is our Minecraft client. We need to now make some files, make some changes, and see if we can have it reflected here. So let's cue the time lapse. I did not realize how difficult this is going to be. Luckily, my great friend ChatGPT was able to help me through a lot of this. Basically, the way the mod works is we have a couple files, right? On the world side, you have some functions and classes that keep track of how many blocks have been mined in total across all the players, as well as storing the current state and all that fun stuff that comes with tracking all that. We also have some networking stuff to, handle how the death screen works. Specifically because I'm reusing how the hardcore world works for death screens. I have to do some networking around that. On the client side, it is just, changing how their death screen works so that if they die regularly, it just shows the regular death screen. Otherwise, we want to change it to this new death screen. So yeah, I hope that little introduction is helpful. Okay, so I did a little bit of off-camera research and implementation. Turns out it's actually a little bit helpful to read the documentation. Uh, who would have thought? So yeah, let's give this a run and see where we're at. Okay, so I have two worlds here. We can go ahead and get rid of them. This is just from testing. Okay. So I did add the mod menu integration. So what you can do is go ahead, come in here, change it up a little bit, configure. Please do not roast me for this mod options menu. It is very basic, but you can enable the mod to true. I have the default set to 1000 when the mod is first created, just because, who knows, maybe this is a 2-week bender and you play the game for a little bit with your friends, right? So you work in a little bit of some blocks there to play with, but we're just going to play with 5 for now, just to show it off. Survival, I'm gonna turn commands on just for a second to show some stuff. Alright, so we just loaded into our new world. If I go ahead and do that to myself, you'll notice we still get the regular you died, a player was killed, and then respawn, right? I'm on top of the jungle right now. Okay. Now we can go ahead and mine some blocks. That was unlucky. Looks like the random block number was 1. Okay. So you can see it changed a little bit. It says you died. You mined your last block. Now, we're not going to be so mean as you can only delete the world or spectate. We'll let the people go back to the title screen so they can come back and spectate whenever they want. But if you click spectate world, you're now in spectator mode. We did it. Oh, this would have been a really good spawn. That's kind of crazy. Okay, might have to write this one down for the books. But another good thing is if, for example, we have it turned off, and we can just set this to 1, right? See? It is false. It is not enabled, or else we should have probably died. Now watch. The second we go, enable it, go back into that world, dead. Oh yeah. And this also works with hardcore mode too. So we can create a hardcore world, click new, and it is still set to 1. So unfortunately, this is another weird world too. Okay, well, hit some grass, dead immediately. Game over. You've mined your last block. And that's the mod. Hope you guys like it. In description will be a link to download the mod and test it out for yourself. So yeah. Bye-bye.